G'day, and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, the home of Tottenham, past, present, and God knows what future we're going to have. Look, it's a big week in the times of Tottenham Hotspur with the Harry Kane news. Are we going to lose one of our own? And Philip, we have an announcement tonight because we've lost one of our own. Ellie, as you well know, the Queen has decided to abdicate from the throne, from the Thfc throne, and take a bit of a break. We've got a statement here from Ellie, which you're going to read, Philip. But firstly, before we do that, I just want to say thank you to Ellie for everything she's done. I love having her on here. She really has been a joy to work with. She's great in the promotional side and shows we've done together, the Steve Perriman stuff we've done, Philip, when you were up in Dublin, Mickey Hazard. So we've got a lot of memories, but she has done this of her own accord, hasn't she, Philip? And I'll let you read her statement out very quickly.
Yeah, we only heard about this yesterday now, and we had a chat with Ellie, and we reluctantly had to agree with her reasons. It's saying, this received from Ellie now a couple of hours ago. With a heavy heart, I've decided to just step away in this present time from our channels for personal reasons. I'll always be around featuring here and there, and I'll always chat in the WhatsApp groups. I also have my own social media platforms, and I will carry on promoting our fantastic shows everywhere. I just need time, and when I'm ready to return, it will be for the right reasons and the right decision for me. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown to me and for our great show. We are all Thfc till I die.
So, Philip, do you want to add anything else before we sort of move on?
Yeah, I mean, you mean Ellie? Ellie's a bit of a legend in YouTube circles, especially in Tottenham circles. I'm sure she will be again. I know there are obviously we're not going to go into the reasons she's actually pulling back, but they're very valid, and they will no doubt see her back on again in not too distant future. So thanks, Ellie.
Yeah, thanks for everything you've done, Ellie. But Philip, I'd like Spurs. On we go. Big players have come and left. I've left clubs, and Ellie's left the channel. So it's like
we just have to get on with it.
And look, she's the first one in the chat as well. There's no beating her today. She says, "Big up, lads. Dermot and Philip flying the flag, doing great content. That is true to our great club. Big up, Ellie. And again, thank you for everything you've done, Ellie, and thank you for." She is going to be continuing in the background doing the promotions and everything like that. So big up, Ellie, and always be in the chat here. She's also a mod as well, so mind yourself. She will block you if she has to. We've got Carl Simpson. Big up, Carl. Says, big up, guys. Hello, everyone in the chat.
Hi, Carl.
We've got Wembley 1. Afternoon, boys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Are we ready for another shambolic week in the running of our great club?
Well, let's hope it's a better week.
Yeah, let's hope so. Big up Wembley. We've got Terry White. Big up everyone. We've got Drula. Hi, Dermot and Philip, and all in track. Big up Drula. We've got Hog God 10. Good afternoon, everyone. We've got Ian Ferguson. Morning, all. Morning, Ian. Hope you're doing well, sir. We've got Root Tooty. Afternoon, all. It's a sad day if the deal is done as we expected, but we will continue to love and support our club, and that's so true, isn't it, Philip?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Drew, the same big up to my queen, Auntie Ellie. Big up. We've got big up Ellie. We love you, Ellie, and we'll welcome your return with open arms when you're ready. She's saying good afternoon and morning all. All good wishes, Ellie, and take care. Spurs for life. Spurs number one target, Raya, going to Arsenal as a backup goalkeeper. But this club is. I don't look.
No, he was never our number one target, really.
I tell you right, Root to all good here, mate. I accept the Kane will be leaving the club. I'm at peace with it. Spurs will move forward. Of course we would.
Yeah.
Of course we will. We've got Cam62. Afternoon, everyone. Take care, Eddie. Look after yourself. Hold tight. It's going to get messy. Yeah.
Are we getting messy? Oh, good. Oh, sorry, wrong
messy.
They'll
get messy, yeah.
Wrong messy.
We've got Paul True. Afternoon. Big up, Paul. We've got Golden Hammer. Spurs with a laughing face. Right. Philip, I love you welcoming other fans into this channel. So this is why you're
great. First trophy in about 165 years, and suddenly think they're better than us. Okay, you beat us in a friendly game when we played you off the pitch and you somehow scored 3 goals and 4 shots. We had 32 shots. Your goalie had a blinder. Get real, lad. You know where you're going to finish this season, and you're not going to be above Spurs. But thanks for coming on the chat all the same.
Yeah. And enjoy blowing your bubbles. And let me know how Barney the Dinosaur's doing down there at West Ham. We really would be grateful to know. Anjin Kane out is the beginning of a new era. It does have that sort of new era.
It does, feeling, doesn't it? It does. Yeah.
And then Carl saying West Ham fan laughing. How many players have you signed this summer?
Yeah. I'll tell you, I must say, I'll give West Ham some credit actually.
Yeah.
For screwing 105 million out of Arsenal. That's the greatest con job of all time.
I tell you, Del Boy must have been doing that bit of business. Him and Boyce must have been doing that bit of business.
Yeah. Now, Philip was a big Arsenal fan too. He's gone down in my estimations since I learned that.
He has. Now listen, and then we've got DJ Samuel, Afternoon Coys, big up purple and gold. Apparently to Tottenham or sold, so it says. Right, we are gonna start with the big. We've got NS Sports TV as well. Hi, big up NS Sports TV. Hope you're doing well. He says big up to everyone. Yeah, big. He's been in before, Philip. He's been in a few times. Always actually quite logical in the chat as well. So big up to NS Sports TV. Philip, crucial. I was sent this morning by a man with his ear to the ground. He's at the moment, his ears to the ground and his answers up in the air. Is that listening for any Kane news? But anyway, crucial news for Harry Kane deal. Bayern officials are prepared for a meeting in London with Daniel Levy as direct talks will take place with Tottenham. Philip, look, how do we see this going? I mean, I've been told, this is the latest I've actually been told about the Harry Kane. It will be this week if it happens. New signings don't 100% rely on Kane money. I mean, that was a lot of the feelings around there. Are we waiting for the Kane money?
Yeah.
Apparently,
no. Well, there's a few things. There's kind of a jigsaw puzzle going on here. While it may not be indirectly related to the Kane transfer money, I think it's related in so much their energies are into the Harry Kane thing at the moment, obviously.
Yeah.
Trying to get the best deal. Because if you can believe what Sky Sports are saying, and don't often do that, they're saying that Bayern Munich are offering 70 million for Harry Kane, right? Now, if you compare the Manchester United are lashing out pretty much the same money for an untried 19-year-old who scored 9 goals last season, probably 9 goals in his career. There's something wrong there. There's no way a bid of 70 million can be accepted for Harry Kane. Not a chance. And if Daniel Levy accepts it, he is making a bigger rod for his back than he's ever had in his entire Tottenham career. I think we'll all be pretty pissed off now if he goes for that type of money. We need to be holding out for at least 90 million for him. Oops, Dermot's back again. Has he gone? Oh, he is.
That's what happened. Huh? That's Daniel Levy. That's what happened.
So put you off, was it?
Yeah, it was. We've got Paul Simpson, 105 million on the play that with worse stats than Højbjerg. Yeah, that's Declan Rice. It's funny. Will you be pissed from NS Sports TV? Will you be pissed off if England win the FIFA Women's World Cup?
No. Why would we be?
Mind you, at the end of it, but no.
No, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't. There's a Spurs player involved in that, so I don't see any reason. No, I'd be. No. You know, I'm watching now that Ireland are out of it. Really, I don't care who wins it. To be honest with you, you know.
No, same here. Ellie's saying, "I love you all too. Thanks for your kind support, THFC till I die." Big up, Ellie. West Ham. Daniel Lee says West Ham deserved a little moment. Remember, it'll be another 35 years till they win anything else. But but they will still have relegations in that time because they're West Ham.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
The Kane news. I want it done now today. Let's finish this. Jula's saying the meeting's actually going on right now. It is, Jula. So I'm keeping my fingers to the ground. Good luck, Kelly.
I don't think there'll be a decision today. I really don't.
I think there will be. I think. Hardball. Yeah, and I think there will be behind the curtains. There will be, but it won't be released, Philip.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that he has to go for at least 90 million, or else to be, you know, he's really putting himself up for an awful lot of criticism. He's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't here. If he sells Harry Kane, he'll be damned. If he waits till next season and gives him away for nothing, he'll still be damned.
But the thing is, Philip, if it's 70 million plus a player, would that be happy?
Yeah, but 70 million on its own, forget it.
Yeah.
70 million plus a player, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. Golden Hammer said, if I was you, I'd be really worried if it was Kane's goals that was saving you from relegation, to be honest.
Oh, no, come on.
Oh, Levy will want 90 million
pounds. What's that word, relegation? I don't think I've ever remember hearing that word before relating to Spurs.
Hang on. Was it?
I had to endure it a few times,
Hang on. Was it 1977 the last year? 46 years ago?
That's right. Yeah. We're I don't think West Ham can quite say that now,
No.
But
no, they can. We've got Eamon Burns. Good afternoon, lads. Good afternoon, Eamon. Hope you're doing okay. So we've got Jazz Fusion. We've got NA Sports saying hi, Ellie. We've got Carl Simpson. To be fair, the England's women haven't looked great at the moment. Well, I haven't seen it actually, apart from the Ireland games. Val Taylor, good afternoon, gentlemen. Greetings from Mrs. and myself. Big up, Val Taylor. Hope you're doing all well. And we have Craig Finner. I don't care how much Kane goes for. He just needs to go. If he walks to, if not, he walks to Chelsea. Philip, look, this is the thing, isn't it?
That's the thing.
We've got to get the deal done, haven't we? We can't
run the risk.
No,
we can't run the risk of next 30th of June next summer when his contract expires that he hops on the bus down to Southwest London. That cannot happen.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Carl saying the reason Kane scored the most goals was because he was set up to get the ball to him. New era, new goals. Exactly. Yeah, now, Hulk got 10. 70 million plus Pavard would do me. Now, for me, that would be a good move.
I wouldn't say no to that. I've seen Pavard in action playing for France against Ireland there a couple of months back, and he's a decent centre-back. In fact, he's an excellent centre-back. But now, whether he wants to come or not is another thing. That's. But then again, if the deal depends on him moving, the pressure will be immense from the Bayern side to get him to shift.
Yeah.
Especially if he's not 100% in their plans for the long-term future.
Yeah. Do you want to log back in and out again, Philip? You seem to be freezing every few seconds.
All right. No, I shouldn't be. I'll log in now, but no, I'm coming in okay. I'll come back in.
It's just for me, you're freezing sort of every 2 seconds, and then you're fine, and then you freeze again. Okay, Philip will come back in. Arsenal, Australian Gooner. I will leave that one when Philip gets back. He'll have fun with that one. Big up Australian Gooner. Peter Spelling, best up Ellie, big up Ellie, best of luck. My North London dame, but even though I live up in the northwest. Let's see now. Philip's back in. There we go.
Let's see how we'll.
Yeah. And it's positive. Yeah, we were just freezing for a bit and then coming. That was all, Philip. So it could be the link as well. So we don't know. If Harry Kane comes to us, people will riot outside Daniel Levy's estate. I think they will.
Would that be Chelsea fans or Spurs fans?
Probably both. Will the Kane saga end today? Look, I'm waiting for an update. There is no update at the moment. This is like waiting for the Pope to be announced. We're waiting for the bit of white smoke coming up the top of the Sistine Chapel, in Rome. So we're waiting for some smoke to come out of Tottenham Hotspur Way. And then Carl Simpson says, give me delete in the deal. Philip, look, we've got a few bits of news today. Now, Spurs are in a double Barca swoop. Now, this is for Kessie and Longley.
Yeah.
Now, Tottenham are looking to go. Now, everyone's very anti-Longley. Don't want him back at the club. He's useless. But everyone will want Kessie in. I'd be quite happy to have Longley in as a backup. What do you think? Do we go for both or just go for one, Philip?
Well, I mean, I think Kessie would be my if Højbjerg is. This is the jigsaw we're talking about, right? If Højbjerg goes to Atletico Madrid, Kessie would be an absolutely brilliant replacement. Now, much as we love Højbjerg, or some of us, he'd be a step up on Højbjerg. He's class above him. As I keep saying about Longley, I would like to see Longley coming in as a third centre back, as going to back up to the real team, if you like, to cover any injuries and stuff. I don't want to see him coming in as one of our main centre backs because I don't think he's got the pace to play the type of system that Ange wants. But I would certainly take him as a good squad player.
Yeah. Is my volume any better now, Philip?
That's better now. Yeah, you were coming quite low there, so
I wasn't near the mic. That was it. But look, for me, I would take Longley back. I would. I would take Longley back because I think when he played with Romero, there was a calmness about him. There was a calmness that went on to Romero as well. Look, we know he's not a top but we know he's not the world's greatest defender, but he's better than what we've got. He's better than a Sanchez. He's better than a Dyer or a Davis. So do you take that and see can we get the other deals done, Philip, to start with? Would you be happy to see them two players come into Spurs?
I would, but I wouldn't like to see the if Longley comes in before two other centre backs. I think the reaction is going to be fairly negative on that. Very negative. Yeah. If Kessie comes in, I can see us absolutely delighted. Really, really good player. So I think it was kind of a mixed bag. If they come in after the two centre backs, then I think people will accept it and they'll be able to see what Ange's trying to do.
Yeah.
Build up
now I left this. You came back, Philip. It's from Australian Gooner. It went, "Oi lads, being blind by your hatred because Rice is one of the best midfielders in the country." Yeah, he's as good as Mr. Bean putting a turkey in his head. Currently, and every football commentator, including your own Robbie Keane, says so.
It's not blinded by hatred. It's blinded by knowledge of football. He's a good player. He's a decent player. But what we're laughing at, given the money you paid for him, he's nowhere near that sort of money. And come on, if we've got James Maddison for 40 million quid, are you saying that Declan Rice is almost 2.5 times a better player than Maddison? Come on. You've got a player who will probably do well for you. Okay, fair enough. It's the price that you paid for him. West Ham saw you coming there, lads. I'm sorry.
I look, for me, we do have a bit of hatred with Declan Rice, and rightly so. He deserted his country. He's a traitor. He should never set foot in Ireland again. But he's not worth 105 million. If Declan Rice and James Maddison, and you could pick one of them, who would you pick?
Yeah,
Philip.
That's it. I'd pick.
No, who would you pick? I'm asking you.
I'd pick Maddison because I tell you what, I always have an eye for attacking midfielders rather than defensive ones. Because that's something we've missed in the last couple of years since Christian Eriksen left. We haven't had a number 10, if you like. Now we've got him. I mean, and and another thing, just when we're at it, and Carl Simpson's made a point here, paying 65 million for Havertz.
Yeah,
a guy who needs glasses on to find where the goal is. That's they've seen you coming, lads. I'm sorry. I know you did well last season, but you really, really, you have more money than sense on the money you're spending on those players. Yeah. Really.
Look, I know they play different positions, and NS Sports says, look, two different players. You can't compare them. As one is an attacking midfield, one is defensive midfielder, centre back. So, all right, but still, Declan Rice is not worth 105 million.
Yeah,
but he's worth 105 million. Højbjerg is worth 50, 60 million. Then, if you're going down that route, and I think West Ham got codded Arsenal out of a bit of change. So I think
Manchester City are partly to blame there as well, because they stayed in the bidding until such a time as that they didn't stay in the bidding. At that time, the price had gone way up, and Arsenal was stuck with paying what they did.
Yeah.
So you can blame Manchester City as well for that.
Fair play to Man City. Hi, Dermot, says Huggo 10. My problem with Longley is his pace. Yeah, I would agree. He hasn't got great pace.
We all agree on that.
Yeah. How can Ange play a high line? Ange will be shooting himself in the foot. As a backup, I think he'd be great, but not as a starter. And I think we all agree on that.
We're all agreed on that, Good squad player to have. Play him in the cup matches, maybe, where pace and stuff mightn't just be as big an issue with lower league teams.
No disrespect, because I'm a Spurs fan, but also I can't hate on Rice. He's a quality player, mate. I'm sorry. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
We didn't say he wasn't a good player. We didn't say he wasn't a good player. We're saying the price that Arsenal paid for him was ridiculous in relation to how good he is.
Yeah. And I suppose Arsenal will finish outside the top four. Absolutely true. Yeah. Gary Becks, big up Gary. Hope you're doing well, mate. He said Rice is decent, but he's not 105 million decent. But that's not his fault. If if the Lego head thinks he is, that's true. And also NS Sports and Steel Trophyless too. Big up NS Sports. See, we've got an extra Arsenal hater on the channel. Big up. See, one thing we can agree on. Carl Simpson says, "That's all good, Daniel. You're entitled to your opinion. Everyone is. We shall see how he does this season," which my opinion is not a lot, and I actually agree with Carl that he ain't going to do a lot myself. Val Taylor hammers con the Gooners with Declan Good. Ellie saying Maddison all the way. Rice is not a bad player, but he's nowhere worth 105 million. Philip, I've sent Arteta to Specsavers for buying Everton.
yeah.
Oh, dude. Who else we got in? We've got a lot of people in today, Philip. We've got Stephen Thomas, no backups, only replacements. We need to buy players who can start in 11. Yeah,
we're trying.
That's true.
We're trying.
Jessica, I actually prefer centre-back wise VDV and Anderson and Ashley Phillips. African Cup in the Asian Cup next year. So some gone for a month, which could be a problem.
Yeah,
Philip,
that's a good point. That's a very good point. And that may well be one of the reasons we haven't pushed that ahead for Tapsoba. Although I think we've got some news earlier on that Tapsoba is still very much on the radar for Spurs. Ashley Phillips, I don't know. He's probably one for the future, but as far as I know, there's a thing runs out on his contract next Friday. I think the sell-on clause runs out next Friday, which means his price will be back to a more reasonable one than Blackburn are looking for at the moment.
Yeah. So anyway, we have.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, that's Daniel Levy ringing Philip with the latest news there on the Kane deal. Tottenham Hotspur are still working on a deal for buying Leverkusen centre-back Edmund Tapsoba, despite a lack of media updates in recent weeks, according to Fabrizio Romano. Look, I think that deal's still going to go through. I really do, and that's my own opinion. That's my personal opinion. I think that deal's going to go through. Just because we don't see it in the news every day, everyone thinks, oh God, we're not going to get a centre-back. Oh, we're not going to get this, or we're not going to do that. It's doom and gloom. It's not doom and gloom. These things take time. Transfers are not like going on to FIFA and doing the deal in a space of 5 seconds or go on the Championship Manager. There has to be the rights, the player's contract, the agent's fee, the club fee, getting the players over to do medicals. It doesn't just work, if you know what I mean. But this deal, I think, will get done, Philip. I think it's taken the time, but it will get done. Do you think it will get done?
Well, the Fabrizio Romano doesn't get a lot wrong.
No.
So, if it came from any other source, I might have doubt it. I think this one, it's a slow burner, but I think it will actually get to the line eventually.
Lads, rather hating on Arsenal, shouldn't we worry about... do you know what? Can we not have one bit of fun one day a week? Arsenal are our rivals. If you want to go and support Arsenal, go and support Arsenal. If we want to hate on Arsenal, we will do. It's our channel, and we'll do what we want, and we say what we want within respect and within respect of other clubs. Do you know? Come on. Don't we have to sit here and go?
There are solid
CBs
in
Arsenal.
sight.
Pardon?
We do have solid CBs in sight. We just haven't signed them yet, but they're coming.
Yeah,
they're coming.
Ollie's saying, I can you put your comment in again, Ollie? It's just the chat's humping. So if you can, I agree. Daniel says Carl Simpson. Daniel, the English tax is nuts. The issue for me that is Arsenal recognise Rice as an addition to take them to the next level. So paid what West Ham wanted. Can you see Spurs acting likewise?
Well, we paid 40 million for Maddison, which is yeah.
That's a question. Are we too, when it comes to transfers, are Tottenham too sensible, if you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I think when we go into a transfer negotiation, we have, from the statistics available and all the permutations available, we know what a player is worth, right? And when a club asks for twice that fee, we won't pay it. Which is fair enough. I don't. If every club paid twice what a player was worth, there'd be a lot of clubs going bankrupt very, very quickly. So we're prudent when it comes to. Okay, maybe we're a bit too prudent at times, but I think it's a sensible thing not to play totally over the odds for players. I mean, look at Maddison. Leicester were looking for 60 million from. We got him for 40. That's good transfer business. But when the player starts off at 60 million and ends up going for 105 million, that's not good transfer business. So I mean, sorry, what were you saying?
No, go on, Philip. Go on, finish off.
No, I mean, I know there's frustration among Spurs fans, and that has been that way for a number of years with Daniel Levy. But listen, we're by no means defending Levy. There's an awful lot of things he's absolutely made bad mistakes on, right? But you could never accuse him of wasting money. Which is when I see some of the transfer fees that are going out, especially these lads that are going to Saudi Arabia. I mean, some of the transfer fees there are just ridiculous,
Yeah.
And then you've got the Rice one, which is crazy, and you've got Havertz, which is even more crazy based on what he's done for Chelsea. So I would say if Spurs spent that sort of money on players, say Spurs spent 67 million for Havertz, I would love to see this chat. We'd be going mad. What are you wasting money on him for? So let's give him a bit of credit for being prudent. Maybe too prudent.
We had it as well, didn't we, Philip? We had it with Richarlison. 50 million, 60 million. Why did we spend that money on him?
At the moment, we still overpaid for him. As it stands at the moment, we have overpaid for Richarlison. But that could well change come this season. I think it probably will change based on what I've seen of him so far. So let's just give Levy a bit of a pass. By the end of this transfer window, we could have up to 7 new players at the club. Which is no mean feat for one transfer window. And I'm including Toro and Kulichevsky in that because they've been signed up.
Yeah.
But 7 new players is some hell of a turnover.
Yeah. Look, I know there is players incoming this week. I do know that. I've been told that there is players coming in next week or so, incoming players and players outgoing as well. Harry Kane being one of them, Philip. So, look, for me, this is the biggest week in Tottenham Hotspur history for a long time. Would you think it's the biggest week since Jimmy Greaves left the club?
No, it's the biggest week since Alan Sugar stopped us going bankrupt. That's the biggest week. But on the playing side, no.
That's what I meant, more on the playing side. Yeah.
Well, do you know something? I think losing Glenn Hoddle was a bigger... Was Glenn Hoddle left in 1987.
Yeah, I saw a stat on that. Yeah, I saw a stat on that. I saw he left when he was 30.
Yeah, exactly. Around the same as Harry Kane. That's the comparison.
Around the same as Harry Kane.
Yeah, and I know it took us a while to regroup after that, but it was 3 years afterwards we won the FA Cup, 3.5 years afterwards. So I think Hoddle leaving was probably there was an awful lot of. But think about it, we knew Glenn Hoddle was leaving for months before we left.
Yeah.
Like when Glenn Hoddle scored that last goal for Spurs against Oxford, you remember when he walked through the defense?
Yeah.
We all knew that was his last goal. Whereas Harry Kane has not been given the chance yet to make a good say his goodbyes to the Tottenham fans. And that's why I'm hoping, whatever happens today or over this week, that he's able to be at the ground on Sunday to say his goodbyes in person, because it would be a shame to have a player go off after such service to Tottenham, record goal scorer, the whole lot, without having the chance for the fans to show their appreciation to them. So we can only hope that common sense.
I don't think he will
prevail there. Well,
I don't think he will. I think
you
know what Tottenham are like. I mean, that Tottenham forgot Bill Nicholson's death anniversary and birthday, for Christ's sake. Like they're going to give a player, look and wave goodbye, Harry. Yeah.
I don't know, Dermot. I think even if he decides to go to Bayern Munich this week, I think that he'll still be around next Sunday to come and say goodbye to the fans. I really do. I think it'd be a huge mistake if that didn't happen.
We've got Mia here with the super chat. Big up, Mia. And if you want to be like Mia, do get your super chats in. The chat is humping. Look, we know it's hard out there. We really do. But look, it really does help us grow as a channel. And also pick up your memberships, $2.99, $4.99. We are looking to make some of the podcasts members only shows. So let's do that. We've got Mia here saying, Philip, I hate Arsenal for life. I'm proud. Coys.
Yeah.
Big up, Mia.
I mean, Spurs fans and Arsenal fans, it's like cats and dogs. We just don't like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And big up Mia as well. And everyone get over to Spurs Between the Lines. And Mia will be back on the channel on Friday with me and Philip. And also she will be joining us for a new show, Philip, that we're going to do every week during the Premier League season. It's a Premier League review where we'll go over all the results, we'll look at the table, and then at the end of it, between the three of us, we pick our all-time Premier League team of the week. So from everyone. So please get in and join us for that. Now, Mr. Brady, we will carry on. Hang on. Let me take that off and let me put this on. Now, the tap sober deal. On. Mm-hmm. No, we do talk about that. We talk about
now this one. That looks to be back on. Yeah.
Now,
this is Galatasaray.
Yeah. Now, you said a bit about it last week, Philip. So what's the latest on this, what you're hearing?
Well, the latest is, I mean, I think Galatasaray, I think Ndombele mentioned with any type of food is kind of a joke matter anyway. But anyway, apparently Galatasaray offered 8 million quid for Ndombele, right? Payable over 4 years. And I see this morning that the offer is still 8 million quid, but with a lesser payment term, probably 3 years.
Yeah.
Now, to me, 8 million quid is nowhere near what he's worth. What we paid from, like, that's a huge hit. Like I always said, we're going to take a huge hit on Ndombele when he leaves. But I mean, to lose about 35 million on him is more even is serious. I think we should be holding out for at least 15.
Yeah,
he's obviously not in Andy's plans because he hasn't featured. I know he might have been injured out in the tour, but he wasn't even training with the main squad, so that's kind of a bad sign. And so I would say if he goes to Turkey, let him go, but let's get a decent enough. We're not going to get our money back, but let's get a decent return for him that we can invest into other players who actually, can do something for the club.
Yeah. Look, for me, Ndombele, I think he's been the biggest waste of money the club have ever spent. He's on 200 grand a week for what? Doing nothing. I mean, he gets it. I mean, a snail moves quicker than he does when he gets off the bus. To be fair,
yeah, that's true.
That says something. So look, for me, I let him go for nothing, Philip. I say to Galatasaray.
I'm just saying that I'd hate to see him. We're taking a hit anyway, but let's get something back for him.
If they take his full wages, I'll take 8 million and run.
There's no way they're going to pay him 200 grand a week. Not a hope. Yeah. Not a hope.
There's no way Ndombele is worth less than Sanchez.
Yeah.
That's
saying
sure.
Something.
I'm hearing this as well, Gary, that Forest are looking at Sanchez.
That would be a bad move
for him, actually, Philip.
They're looking to get relegated this time.
No, but seriously, though.
Fair dues. If we got 12-15 million for him, yeah, why not?
I think
I know there was an offer in from Russia, but who'd want to go to Russia in the present climate,
No. Putin would. Anyway.
He's about the only one.
One of his doubles. Rob Belcher, big up. He says, and look at the big picture of the man himself on his profile picture. He says, it was for me the biggest mistake Bill Nick made when he appointed Greavesy to West Ham United as a make-weight that brought Martin Peters to Spurs.
Yeah,
Philip, you said it as well. You said it as well. It was his biggest mistake.
It was. So, I mean, Bill Nick didn't make too many. But
no. So let's put it this way. If that was Bill Nick's biggest mistake, is Daniel Levy making his bigger mistake by apparently selling Kane to Bayern Munich?
You can't really compare the two of them because Jimmy Greaves, age-wise, they were about the same. Jimmy Greaves was 29 going on 30 when he went to West Ham, right? Martin Peters was a World Cup winner who was playing very well for West Ham. Oh, God. The circumstances are different. Let's face it, Jimmy Greaves was a make-weight in the transfer. Martin Peters was the major, I think it was Jimmy Greaves plus whatever they paid for Martin Peters to bring him into Spurs. This is different, where we're getting huge money for Harry Kane. And also, in the way contracts were back in the 60s, I don't know how long Jimmy had to go in his present contract, but there's no way in those days you could have walked away as a free transfer. There was different rules on the contract back in those days. So I think you can't really compare them. They are the loss of our two best strikers ever, though. That's the biggest comparison. Up to 3 months ago, Jimmy Greaves was our record scorer. Now Harry Kane is, so we lose them both. I don't know if it's the biggest mistake he'll ever made. I think keeping Harry Kane, who might not be focused all this season, and letting him go for nothing next season will be a bigger mistake. So that's why reluctantly, I think he's got to try and profit on him now, or else like he's going to be slaughtered whatever he does. The guy can't win.
Philip, it's the thing, isn't it? It's the egg and the chicken thing, isn't it? Really, do you stick and stick with her. Big up to Alan Adams. He says, afternoon, fellas. First time on. Big up, Alan. Welcome to the channel. Please do hit that subscription button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, because we're on all week with Newsbeat, with other shows as well. So I hope you enjoy what we do here, and it's great to have you on. Look, is it a bit like the chicken and egg sort of thing, Philip? Look, he's sort of damned if he do and damned if he doesn't. If he is.
Yeah, he is.
If he keeps hold of Kane walks away at the end of next season and goes to wherever he wants, right? Yeah. Bayern Munich, you would know Bayern Munich will be in for him in January. Yeah. And then Harry can just do what he wants, and that's it, gone. Yeah. And then next summer, it'd be either Man United, Man City, Chelsea. So does he have to sell now to get himself, though it's a pain now, to save us further pain down the line?
Yeah. Well, I think the further pain would be, okay, if Harry goes to Bayern Munich, he's out of sight and out of mind. He's not playing for a direct competitor. Okay, and we get money for him. Balance that up against going to Chelsea or Manchester United next July, right? For nothing, and becoming a direct competitor against Spurs. Remember, next summer, Ange will have a season under him. He'll have the players playing the way he wants to. And we don't want to encourage our rivals. So that's why I think it's important that reluctantly to say Harry Kane, go now rather than then, when he won't be as much of a damage to us, by playing in the Bundesliga. So reluctantly.
Mia sneakily stuck her link into the chat. Sneakily, yeah. I caught you, Mia. We've caught you. We've got you. Max Fitzpatrick said, hopefully nothing personal caused her to leave the channel. I think it was more family reasons, wasn't it, Philip?
Yeah, it's family reasons. But obviously we can't go into it. We're not going to.
No, we're not going to go into it with it.
Let's face it, we haven't seen the last of Ellie. She's still around.
No,
she'll be around.
It was her own decision, though, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
yeah. Mia goes, I'm a mod. I have the power. Who do you think you're, He-Man or She-Ra or something? You're going to get your lips sword up and go, I have the power. Yeah, there you go. Carl Simpson said, players going to play Mia. Players are going to play Mia, you. Anyway, Gary Becks, he says, and Marcos Leonardo and Santos is another we're supposed to be looking at. He's 5'9" and plays across the front line, much like Thiago at Celtic. That's the next thing, Philip. Who do we go for if Harry Kane is sold, basically?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, I know we have Richarlison, all right. But whether, Richarlison could be waiting, just chomping at the bit to get the replacement nod here. Could well be.
Yeah.
And, and if we didn't get a replacement in, I wouldn't be too concerned because we do have Richarlison. But the centre-backs still are the priority, But who are we going to get if we did bring somebody in? God knows. There's an awful lot of players being mentioned, many of which, I'm sorry, I haven't even heard of before. It just appears every decent centre forward in the Europe has been linked with Spurs at this stage, But we'll have to wait and see on that one.
We'll have to.
There was a name I can't remember some of this guy's name. I'll come back to me in a minute, but I think, as I say, I would rather get the centre back sorted out. We have enough. Our midfield and forwards are okay; they're in good shape. It's just the back that we need sorted out.
Yeah. Just to pick up Carl Simpson, Ellie had to step away. She's in line to take Donna's job at Tottenham.
I wish you would.
Terry Plow says, losing Kane and Ellie in the same week, can life get any worse? I know. But look, we have our memories. We have memories of Ellie here, so that's one thing we can hold on to. We've got Mia says, the power of the cockerel cock. Oh, for fuck's sake, again.
Oh, dear.
Oh, for fucking hell. Mia, even you're freaking at it now.
I think we'll start a swear box here. We'll make a fortune on that.
Yeah, Mia, I cannot divulge that, but let's just say if we don't strengthen, I got a like to. Gary said Richie will be the number 9 with Giff Orban or Brennan Johnson or Leonardo as backup. Do you know what? That wouldn't be bad.
No, nothing wrong with that at all.
Elite has responded with I'm a mod too. with a like Tony the Tiger, or those that step out of line. I'm the queen, the cockerel mod cock. Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah. You're not helping me here, Philip. You're really not helping.
Why should I? Why should I? I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I know you're dyslexic is a bitch sometimes, and this is a
Dermot,
bitch. From...
do you know this is me getting my own back on you, and you know what for?
Yeah, I suppose it's not unusual, Mr. Jones down below.
Oh God! Yeah, right. Go
on. Anyway, just to let you know, Tom Jones's one night in Dublin could be off tomorrow due to half his band and entourage having COVID, so we may get a bit of Tom Jones on here tomorrow. Gift Auburn from Jen is who I meant as Kane replacement, but that wouldn't be a bad shout actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt says you're not leaving the show because of this bunch bullied you or something. Come on.
Joking there.
I hope he is joking.
Otherwise, there's a laugh underneath there. All right, look, next one.
Oh, is that? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's all right.
Well, you better be joking. Anyway, Tottenham star in limbo, Philip, as club end talks with entourage to sign him. Exit not going as smoothly as it first hoped. Now, when I first read this, right, I thought it was Don Bele or somebody like that, somebody big, right? And then it ended up to be Hugo Lloris. Now, when Hugo Lloris announced that his time at Tottenham was now up, despite having a year left on his contract, perhaps he was thinking a numerous club would jump at the chance to sign him. If anyone has watched him over the last 2 seasons, no wonder he's coming through. So far, however, that hasn't been the case. Even if a few clubs have come forward with timed approaches, like PSG, as recorded by Lee Linkray. Philip. Yeah. Are you surprised that we haven't got rid of Lloris, or you're not surprised we haven't got rid of Lloris?
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I mean, he's, he's World Cup winning captain, decent goalkeeper, albeit he didn't do well last season. There's a club waiting for him somewhere. Now, whether it's a case of the money on offer isn't acceptable to him or whatever, I still think he'll be gone by the end of the transfer window. But I'm a bit surprised he's not gone already. Yeah. Especially as he stayed back from the tour to fix up a new club,
But Philip, let's be fair. He wasn't great last season. How many mistakes did he cost us? How many points did he cost us last season or the season before?
Well, I tell you, if he cost us any points at all, he cost us Europe because we had one more point and we got into Europe. Look at
the fumble he made against Arsenal at the Emirates.
Yeah. He probably cost us maybe 8 or 9 points, maybe more.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, would have been crucial.
Yeah, that's true. Gift Auburn has 20 goals in 22 games. Not a bad shout. No, it's not. And look, I don't know what we're gonna. She says, Max, we've always had heated debates, but we're all cool. It's nothing to do with that. I love Spurs banter. It makes one feel alive.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's from
that's put that rumor to bed. I read somewhere that Ange wouldn't take players from Celtic as a courtesy, just as he wouldn't take any of the staff. Well, he did try to take the staff, but they refused to go. As I know.
But then again, he normally comes with a fresh staff every club he goes to,
Yeah. Now, we have a bit of, where is it now? I think we've got new rules coming in for next season. Premier League introduced new rules set to have a huge impact on Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham. Now,
what about the rest of the clubs? Is it only them 3?
Well, that's all they could get into that. All they could get into football.london. I think once they get to Tottenham, they get a bit lost on the map where everyone is. Look now, Philip. Last season we had the Tuchel and the Conte debacle at the Bridge. We've had managers going like bizarre VR decisions, like there's been no tomorrow. It really was a shambolic season for the officials and the referee. But anyway, the Premier League are to introduce new rules. They are aimed to improve the conduct of managers, players, and fans in the upcoming season. The main pillars of the measures will look at giving referees more power to deal with managers or players that aren't following procedures, as well as new ways to tackle fan behaviour and tragedy chanting. The main goal will be making the game more inviting place for all to be a part of. Right. Look, Philip, I want to take the last bit first, Philip, if we can. How can referees stop fans chanting like at Liverpool for the Man United for the Mudicare disaster, Man United for Hillsborough, whatever? How can referees stop that? Should that be more job for the clubs and the stewards more than the referees? Before we get on to the other bit of that new rules,
it's a job for the stewards, really. How can a referee play? What does he do? Go and hand out 500 yellow cards to the crowd? You know, I mean, you can't do it. It's the stewards should be identifying. See, every seat now is traceable back to whoever bought it, or most of them, right? So all they've got to do is take a note of the row and the number the guy was sitting in, and then do them afterwards. You know, suspend his membership or ban him from the ground for 12 months or something like that. But the referee can't. Well, if the referee is going to deal with every chant that comes from the ground, each game's going to last about 4 hours because he's going to be off the pitch more than he's on it, dealing with the crowd. So I can take you can keep the managers and the coaching staff. That's fair enough. You know, give over and give them a yellow card and get on with it. But to deal with the crowd, I mean, come on, that's going to be a bit hard to do.
Can I say big up to Matt Fitzpatrick? It is the cockerel clock. Yeah, I have got it right this time. See, Carl and Mia, I can say it. So there you go. And he also says I have a big cockerel cock. Well, if you've got a big cockerel cock, then fair play to you. Yeah. Anyway. Could go down so many routes with that, but I'm not. And it's not. I haven't got Mia on to help us go down that route either, to be fair. Look, so you can imagine the referee going up to the fans, or giving you a red card. You got to leave the stadium.
Imagine. Oh, for God's sake, you know. And then working out if you get another one of those at the next game, you're banned from the match after that. It's laughable. Jesus, it's laughable.
Do you get a 3-match ban? Do you? Do you get a 3-match? Do you get a 3-match ban if you chant the wrong word? Honest to God, that's so funny. But on the others, though, Philip, it does need tweaking, and VAR as well, Philip. It does need tweaking. Look, you look at the penalties we had against us last season. You look at the decisions that were made. I'll tell you one thing. It needs improving, didn't it?
It does. I mean, some of the VAR decisions now were far, not just for Tottenham. You know, some of them.
We'll leave that to Friday when you're on, Mia. We have that conversation Friday, or maybe if you're on the debate with me and Carl next week, which this Saturday is going to be a total disaster. I know it's
Thank God I'm missing that one.
Yeah, don't worry. I've been getting in contact with you, Mr. Brady. But there you go. Mia, why are you blocking me in your chat? What did I do? I don't know. I'm leaving that up to the mods. Pick up Mia. Right. Okay. Bob Bellship. So look, we'll get to that in a minute, Philip. Look. So where do you see these new rules coming in? Do you think there will be an improvement in for the games next season, Philip?
Well, you'd hope so. I mean, I did read, I don't know whether it's been adopted or not. I know they were talking about implementing an Arsene Wenger suggestion about VAR, in so much as when rather than have your toenail mean you're offside, there has to be kind of distance between the attack. The benefit that has been given to the attacking player. Yeah. That as long as some of his body is behind the defender, he'll be onside. So maybe that might be a good thing. Okay, it'll be a good thing till it goes against us. Then it'll be a bad thing, if you know what I'm talking about.
Now, Harold Webb, the referee that Philip likes to hate, Philip's probably found him on Facebook and sent him a message back in the day, or an email when it was an email before Facebook. Says, cheap off the PGMO, that's a mouthful after a few points. Told the Premier League on the changes, football has to come together and recognise that it's time to change. There is a desire from all corners of the game to tackle unacceptable behaviour. We know what we know we must play our part in delivering that. Philip, look, we've got the fans bit. I think has to be separate, hasn't it? It has to be separate because it's down to the clubs, the police, and the authorities to sort all that out. But for the players and the managers and the VAR, that is down to the referees and getting the right decisions. Did we go down the road last season, Philip, of VAR doing the referee's job? And do we have to now? Do referees have to take that back now that they run the show? Of VAR is just there for a helping hand.
I'd align VAR to cruise control on a car. You put cruise control and they do the work. That's what they were doing. They were letting the VAR make the decision, knowing that if they didn't get it right in the first place, VAR would bail them out. Whereas they weren't making the decision, letting VAR do it. So, yeah, I mean, I think referees are referees. VAR should be an assistant to make a decision on a very difficult decision that they couldn't quite fathom out on the pitch. So referees, do your job and only use VAR when absolutely necessary. And then I think we'll all have a better game. Because let's face it, the VAR decisions can also have a lot of bearing on the behavior and the attitude of the crowd. Like a bad VAR decision can rile up a crowd and really get them angry, and that creates a very bad atmosphere in the pit on the stadium. So the referees need to take more responsibility. But let's face the standard of refereeing is not great in the Premiership. It's really not good.
It isn't.
It's probably the lowest it's been in a long, long time.
Yeah. Now, Philip, I don't know where to go. I think I'll go with this one. Now, because of the Joe Lewis stuff, right? We are going to go. I know where you go. Philip's on the move.
I'm moving house.
Yeah, we are moving. Yeah, he's in. Even Philip's moving on transfer day. Here we go. But anyway, Tottenham, Daniel Levy remains a key figure at the Spurs heading into the 2023-24. Just removing there for a minute to his back season, as questions remain over the ownership in the North London, with Jay-Z linked with a huge takeover. Earlier this year, Levy opened up on his stance, saying ENIC owns approximately 87% of the club, and we have 30,000 shareholders. Most of them are fans who own shares. We have a duty to consider any proposal anyone wants to make. All I would say is we are not in talks with anybody, nor have we been in recent months. And then it goes on to say, this is Jay-Z. Jay-Z has said he wants to be in a position to move quickly if he feels the price is right. He believes this is an achievable, especially with the backing following fellow investors. Meanwhile, spokeswoman for Jay-Z declined to comment on the matter. The Express Sport. The rapper himself has previously spoken about investment in the industry after he was involved in becoming an investor into Arsenal. I don't know a lot about the business of soccer, but in the future, if it's the right opportunity presents itself, then who knows, he said. Philip, what's your take on all of this takeover, Jay-Z and Spurs up for sale? And do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's Jay-Z is an Arsenal fan, which probably doesn't help his cause with a lot of us.
I don't think he is an Arsenal fan. I think
he was looking to invest in Arsenal before. I hope maybe he's not, but I think maybe this might be coming out of Beyonce's concerts. He's married to Beyonce.
Yeah, I think so.
And she's probably saying, geez, there's a fantastic stadium there. And maybe that's the start of the idea. I believe he's got something like a dozen investors involved with him, because he wouldn't have enough money himself to buy Spurs out. But then again, Daniel Levy says we're not talking to anybody. We haven't been talking to anybody. No. And this thing about the 30,000 shareholders is all well and good, but those 30,000 shareholders only have a minute percentage of the ownership. ENIC own 87% of it, so they're going to make the decision whether we sell or not the 30,000 shareholders. So it's I don't know, of all the rumors going around, like Liberty Media and the Qatari guys and Jim Ratcliffe and all this one, I would say this is probably the least likely of them, to be honest with you. I think it's too scattered. Like, I mean, you've got 12 people wanting to invest in a club. That's 12 different ideas of how they want the place run. I think it could be a recipe for disaster, to be honest with you.
We've got Greg Kennett says, right, I've done my weight routines, so time to watch you once again for my exercise bike, Thfc till I die, really helping me with my fitness journey. 3 kilos in 3 weeks. Well, big up. Big up, Greg. I'm glad. Listen, and we are going to sort out this week the Spotify, that all the podcasts were now from last week and this week will be uploaded onto Spotify, so you can listen to us again. I've got Ellie saying, Carl, you are a G love of our clockly clickers. Clockety Cock, head of the Cock Chippy.
I've given up on
Cock
that one.
Cock. Let's hear Dermy read that one. This one out. There you go, Ellie. I've read it out. I said cock a few times, to be fair. Yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed by that now, but never mind. Anyway, Philip, you're not helping me, are you? You really are not helping me on this. You're really enjoying
I refer you to my previous comments. I told you I'd get you back. I told you I'd get you back.
What's this, Philip? I cannot confirm or deny.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Mia says that was a lot of cock. I swear to God, you try to do a normal Spurs show and you get this. Honest to God, it is funny though. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems and leave you as top one.
There you are now.
I love that. And not that it would be much consolation for Ange if that happens. Jazz Vision says that's a doodly doozy of a tongue twister.
It sure was.
It really is. Anyway, Philip, we just want to make something clear, don't we? Now, reports reveal how Premier League chiefs react to Joe Lewis' indictment. Right, so can we actually make this very clear? Philip, it's in big letters. Could you please read this out?
Joe Lewis is no longer actually the owner of the club. Now, Daily Express and Sunday Express, please take note of that before you start writing crappy articles about Spurs being a distressed asset because of the ownership problem. There is no ownership problem. He don't own us anymore. Hasn't done since last October. But that's, as the papers always say, never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
So, Philip, I have got a question for it, but I got to take this off. I've got some really good comments coming in. You didn't cock it up there, Dermot. He said it was a mouthful of cock.
Oh, jeez. I think you better quit while you're ahead on this one, Dermot.
I think so, but it is funny. But, Philip, look, we're more on that than the Lewis look. And look, Premier League shot by Joe Lewis charges. Lewis no longer commands the Premier League rules, but it doesn't. It is believed in enhanced due diligence has been carried out to assess the impact of the 86-year-old's actions and ensure he does not have any influence at Spurs. Lewis lawyers insist error. Hello, where's my TV? There it goes. Has been made by us by US authorities, and he's keen to defend the charges. So, Philip, look. Do you think with the Joe Lewis news and that Jay-Z rumor is true, or is it more like not getting it right about who owns the club? Is it more lazy journalism?
I think it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a bit of a story that Joe Lewis has been indicted for federal security fraud and what have you. He owns Tottenham. So let's put in the story, but not even checking the facts right. The Jay-Z thing is linked to it because he's going to be buying a distressed asset. And we might be distressed, but we're not distressed for that reason. We're distressed because we haven't got two centre-backs in. So, very hard to keep serious in this programme at the minute.
It is. I feel I'm to blame for this cock called cock. I would like to say right now I do not apologise.
Right.
And Greg Sennett says, "Oh, no, Dermatron is in full cock relation malfunction." And then he's oh dear! See what you started now, Mr. Brady.
I didn't start it. You did.
Oh, this
Carl did.
over.
Carl Simpson did.
Yeah, but you've taken it long. But look, Philip, getting serious now. Did Spurs get the bad rep from lazy journalism, do you think? Or do you think it's right what we get because we don't do much business with it? Do you know what I mean? There's always news coming out of Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, but with Tottenham, it's all very tight-lipped. Do you think journalists are thinking, do you know what? What should we say? I know what. Levy found Elvis on the mood at Tottenham Hotspur away.
There's no reason to. I mean, Spurs do get a rough deal. Now, maybe other clubs complain they don't get a right deal either, but I think Tottenham do get a rough deal. I mean, you've guys on TalkSport, the likes of Jason Cundy and these guys, forever knocking us. You know, and for an ex-player, he should be ashamed of himself. You know, he's so far up Chelsea's ass, he hasn't seen daylight for weeks. But, you know, we get that. We get all the Arsenal guys. We get the likes of Martin Keown on BBC. We get Alan Smith commentating nearly every game we play on Sky. You know, how can they be objective? I mean, I thought I was seeing things recently when I actually agreed with Paul Merson. And Paul Merson reckons Harry Kane staying at Tottenham, you know, and he scored loads of goals this season and doesn't know how other teams are going to cope with us and Maddison in the same team. But no, I think it's probably because of the lineup of the pundits, the clubs they played for. Like Michael Dawson's making a brave attempt to get stuck into that. He's pretty good. Who else have we got? Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport. He's not great. So I think it's we probably have natural animosity coming from these guys because they were anti-Spurs when they were playing and they're still anti-Spurs when they're doing pundits. That's maybe the best way of saying it.
And all I can say is right, Philip, just go on the chat and then we'll get on to our last bit of comment. Ellie's saying, no apology, Carl. Well, that's just right. It's looks not even going down that road now. I feel I will get back to it tomorrow. Daniel says Root has stopped him in the past. He sacked Nuno on a 3-year contract, only 3 months into Levy. Seemed to have no problem spending money and sacking managers. Don't want spending on centre backs. Yeah, that's it, isn't it, Philip? He's been quick enough to sack managers, but not buy the right players.
Yeah,
now,
that's true. Oh yeah, sure he has, and at a great cost to the club as well. Like, I mean, how much did Nuno cost us? He's only in there for 5 minutes. He probably cost us 13 million.
Yeah,
that's the price of a decent player. You know, well, half a decent player. So yeah, he has been a bit quick to get rid of the managers. And again, this is all part of the Levy dynasty. He's not going to leave when Daniel Levy is gone. He's not going to get a very favourable history written about him. You know. He'll get some good things at the club and the stadium and the training ground, but manager-wise and player recruitment, he'll get a D- for that. He really will.
Yeah. Well, Mia, I've got your message. I'm just going to. Apparently, that talks are ongoing and no agreement yet. I'm just going to double check on that if that's okay, Mia. I'm not saying what you sent me isn't true, but I just want to double check on it. But anyway, the press have to give us crap because Levy gives them nothing. They find out when we do here through Spurs official. Yeah. Ellie says I have pills. Even proper one. Everybody proper ones. I wonder if Ellie is a bit of the Escobar of Tottenham. You know, just saying. Wrote 3 centre back signings in 7 years. I mean, I saw that. Did you see that the other day, Philip? 3 centre backs in 7 years we've bought.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you sign 3 good centre backs, that wouldn't be a problem. But we haven't, and that is a problem. You know, we never replaced Jan and Toby. That was the biggest issue.
No, well, look, the 66 if you're watching. Let's see, can we get out to 40? Can we get up to 50 likes? We need 6 more likes for 50 likes before the end of the show. Right, look, Philip, we're going to end the show as we started it. Our Spurs, no, that's not what I wanted. There we go. That's what I wanted. How soon do you think the Kane deal will be done? Now, why I'm saying that, Mia sent me something that is from Tottenham Tears. Now, I'm going to read it out, but this is unconfirmed reports, by the way, from Pletty Goal on Twitter, Tottenham Tears. Buying bosses did not fly to London today to expect to reach a complete agreement about the transfer of Harry Kane. They will return to Munich tonight. Now, Philip, I've put the questions into our source. I'm still waiting to hear back. I mean, no news is probably good news. Do you think we could have an agreement tonight, or any news breaking tonight on tomorrow about Harry Kane?
I said it yesterday. Sorry, go on.
Forget about him coming out and waving to the crowd and saying goodbye. I'm on about Daniel Levy and Bayern Munich. When do you think they will reach an agreement for the Kane deal?
I don't. I think that if they'd agreed the price on Harry Kane today, we would have heard about it. So I don't think there's been any agreement today. I think this is going to go on another while. I mean, the Bayern boys probably have to go back now and report into the boss over there, whoever the boss of Bayern is, and say, right, this is where we're at now. What do we do next? So I think we'll not hear tonight. We'll not hear tomorrow. I think this could run on for another week. I think it could easily run on for another week.
Hang on, I'm just seeing if I'm getting news. No, yeah, he's seen the question. I think he's gone to check. Look, for me, Philip, I can see it being done by the end of this week.
I honestly don't think any of us really have any insider knowledge to know what's going on. There's obviously some very deep discussions, and I think the bottom line is it's the money. Bayern Munich will not offer what Harry Kane is worth or what Daniel Levy is willing to accept today anyway. So maybe they'll go back and be told, listen, this guy playing hardball, we want Harry Kane. We have to divvy up 90 million or 70 million plus Pavard or whatever. So that's why I don't think it's going to happen today. This is a fact finder. They'll go back and report home. And tomorrow or the next day, there might be more. And there'll be more to and fro. And at least the end of this week.
But do you feel, I mean, Mia puts it, Ange doesn't want this dragging on any longer than it has to. He's either staying to sign a new contract or we're going to sell him. Can please just, I mean,
but we're not selling him. We're not selling him at the same price as some 19-year-old.
No, but
that's still wearing nappies. So there's got to be a decent price got for him, or else I guess Daniel Levy's going to get an absolute slaughter from the Spurs fans.
Yeah, but
so that's where we're at the minute. It's the price. Yeah. It's the price. That's what's going on.
It's like for me, I take Pavard and Gravenbunch and 65 million. I would too. I take that.
Fair enough. That's fine. That's 100 million in anybody's language.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. But now Bayern Munich willing to depart with those two players. That's the other thing.
No.
That's where the gun has to be put to their head. If you want Harry Kane, there's going to be a bit of pain involved for you lads. You're taking away our best player. We're taking away some of yours.
Listen, this is what we're hearing. Bayern won't offer this from Fabrizio Romero. He put it up 9 years ago, and I read the whole quote. It says, "Crucial hours for Kane," which we read. Bayern will offer more than at least 80 million package bid. We respect Daniel Levy as a professional, Bayern president Herner says.
In other words, we can't stand dealing with them. No, not enough. Not enough. Has to be at least 90. At least the package must be at least
could be 80 million
90 million
plus add-on. 80 million plus add-ons, Philip.
But it's probably. I think I read that was 80 million. That was the entire package, including everything.
Well, you don't know that. It didn't say it's 80.
No, I don't know that. But I read earlier that the package they were offering was probably 70 million plus add-ons, which is probably 80 million. So 90 million is the minimum they should be looking at. 90. If that includes other players, all well and good. But
yeah,
we'll have to see.
But look, this deal
they want Harry Kane. We're holding all the aces here, really, at the moment.
Well, we are into January, Philip.
At the moment, I said. At the moment.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, if they want him, they've got to pay for him.
Yeah. Well, look, anyway. That's all we can. Look, this is the last question, Philip. Was some fact? Look, it got me thinking because we're hearing if Harry Kane goes, it's going to be relegation. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So, look, as a last question to you, Philip, and I'll answer it as well. With some fans saying that Spurs will be a mid-table team without Harry Kane, do you believe that? And my answer to that, Philip, is no. We will not be.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the negativity. The negativity has crept into the thing. It's just because Harry Kane's going. Like, were we relegated when Glenn Hoddle left? No. I don't think so. Not at all. No. Listen, we players and teams adapt, and we will adapt. And in fact, I'd be more, if he'd have left the time last year, in hindsight, I'd be more concerned the way that we started playing, the way we played last season. We've got an exciting new manager and with new ways of playing, and we'll get over it. The king is dead. Long live the king.
Yeah. Well, look, we're only 2 away from 50 likes, so come on, people. Hit that like button. 2 more. I tell you what, please, if you want any inspiration, do it like a boy. And thank you for Mia for doing that for me, by the way, before she puts in the chat. I wonder who did that for me. It was Mia. 52 likes after Højbjerg came on, Philip. See? You put a bit of Højbjerg, the Danish king, and see, gets everyone going. Big up to Ben Kaufman. He says, yes, we will until we have bought an entire defence. 63 goals conceded last year. Only 5 more teams conceded less than us. What? We're the defensive manager. I don't think we will be. But
sorry, I don't agree, man. I don't agree. We're not going to get
Kane.
Not a hope.
Yeah, Andy Lloyd said Kane is a blessing, also a crutch, because the teams had the build around him. Had Kane gone earlier, we would have adapted. I've found another way to play. We won't be mid-table, and I agree.
It's all about adapting. It's all about adapting and getting used to the new system.
Look, I want to put this to you. Look, you've seen Tottenham in the 70s and the 80s and the relegation sides, and me being in the 90s with Ozzy when we nearly got relegated, and we've seen some dodgy defenders in our time, the Ginger Pele and so on and so on and so on. Do you think Ange has sort of tapped in to the Tottenham philosophy? And we may see this last question. I know you have to go, Philip. That we may see the Tottenham we love back again.
Well, we can but hope. We all hope. We saw Ange coming in, and what we've seen so far would give me the impression this season's not going to be boring. That's for certain, right? We're not going to be falling asleep watching our team, or we're not going to be behind the couch watching them either, which I was last season a couple of times. So I think we've got this, and this guy's done it wherever else he's been. We've got to believe he'll do it at Tottenham. And we've got to show positivity and negativity. Leave it until there's a reason for it.
Yeah,
I
think we do, Philip.
We're 18th in the table after 7 or 8 matches. That's when you can be negative, not just now.
No, and I think anyway, Philip. Look, the latest I've gotten to Harry Kane is it will still happen this week, for what I'm being told. So I'm being told this deal will happen this week.
Yeah,
we've got Ben saying if we can see 6-3 goals again, we'll be in deep trouble. John, the Celtic guy, big up. We should take the money now. If Kane stays, there'll be no centre backs brought in, and we'll be screwed. Rob Belcher said the latest on Sky Sports, there's still a difference in valuation. Bayern have offered 20 million below Levy's valuation, so that works out to be
that's an insult. That's the problem. The valuation is the money on the table is the issue.
But Philip, look. I'm going to be devil's advocate here, right? And go, say I'm buying Munich, right? And you're Daniel Levy, right? You got a player that's 30. Okay, Harry Kane's a world-class striker, but he's 30. How many more years are you going to get out of him at the top of his game, realistically? Another 3 seasons?
No, we're not going to get maybe another 3-4 years, maybe 5, right? Yeah. But the position we find ourselves in the minute is we are the selling club. We are holding the aces.
But Philip, you're not going to get...
Why should we sell him for 70 million? Why should we sell him for 70 million when he's worth 90?
I'm not saying selling him at 70 million, but the point is you're never going to get 100 million for a 30-year-old. Doesn't matter how good you are.
He was 29 last Thursday. He was 30 on Friday.
The point I'm making, Philip, he's 30 now. A club will come in, so okay, he's the best striker in the world, but we're not going to pay. So would you, as I said, if he said there's 80 million plus a player of your choice.
But that's fine. 80 million plus a player is fine. I'm talking about the bottom line, including everything. Being 70 million is not enough.
Yeah, so in your point of view, Philip, is right. We don't accept the money, and we're in the risk of him going away for nothing then in January and February. So what do you do then?
No. Listen. Bayern Munich will get Harry Kane eventually, but they're going to have to be more realistic on the price they're offering. They will get him. I've no doubt about that. But Daniel Levy is right to play hardball here, and not just accept their offer. They want him more than we want to keep him. Bayern Munich will be look very, very foolish if they do not get Harry Kane this transfer window, because it will be down to them not offering a realistic valuation, be it cash plus players or whatever, and they will do it eventually.
But say the bid doesn't get done right, and Harry Kane's here, and we're all happy. Harry's still here, and we'll want to sign a new contract. Yeah. Are we going to have an unhappy player at the club?
Maybe we probably will have. Yeah, probably. I don't know.
And how would that impact on the? Do you know? We look. Mia Evans. Look, Colin Turner says 90 million bottom line. Philip Mia says no. We have to be more. We have to be more on that. 85 million £100 is €100 million, and let it be done.
70 million, Dermot, is too low. Really, it really is.
No,
too
no, I'd never said that. I said Mia said 85. That equals 100 million.
Is rumored to be the offer. Like, when I see them all valuing Kane, the same fella, some young lads out of nappies, then I get insulted by that. You know, it's a seller's market in this particular instance for Spurs, and we need to get, okay, we mightn't get the 100 million, get as close to as we can to it, and if that includes bringing in Pavard or the likes of that, fair dues, absolutely.
For me, 80 million, 85 million, 80 million plus players for me.
Well, 80 million plus players will be over 100 million. So that's a brilliant deal.
Yeah,
I think if we got 80 million cash plus 70 million cash plus Pavard. That's 90 million. That's 95. That's about right.
Hasbro TV, I'll take
no go.
Yeah. Hasbro said, I'll take £85 million. He has one left in his contract. It's not a selling market if you can go for free next year.
Yeah, but at the moment it is. At the moment it is, Mia. At the moment it is. This moment in time it is. They want it now. They have to pay for them.
Yeah. Players plus cash.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to move.
Yeah, no, this is the last one, and then we're gonna have to go, Philip. Don't forget, we need to replace Kane unless we're going to continue this on tomorrow. We are back at Newsbeat. Philip, are you around tomorrow? Because I don't think
I'll know tonight whether I'm cancelled tomorrow or not. But I'll know later on tonight, so I'll let you know.
Yeah. Anyway, but listen, thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscription button. Please, and hit the notification bell. And please pick up your memberships. Whatever you do, we are Tottenham till I die. Come on, you Spurs. And we trust.
And we trust.